see.
We out here.
There we go.
I wonder if I should turn the sound down on this.
All right. We are live now. This is Indie Talk with Jesse and Jaron, and we had a little complications, but we got one person who makes his dates, Mr. The System. How's it going, System?
I thought I was going to be the system playing the role of Jesse tonight, but
Oh,
I guess I could be the system.
Yeah, you can be.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's a great day when you make your dates, like I do, and like a man like yourself does, Jaron.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of this, I'm here for my Zero Sympathy reunion, and it's just me and Jaron. That's all you need, because we're the two that actually make our dates. So it's a good day. It's a good night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've had a little complications with Jesse, Sterling, and Crixus, unfortunately, and we're unsure if they're going to be able to make it at all. But we wanted to give the fans at least something, because I know all of you have been waiting for some kind of reunion. We got the leaders, so I think he knows everything in and out of this group as he founded it. So yeah. Oh, we're already getting a lot of comments on Instagram here.
We can just assume they're all scared of me, Jesse especially.
Yeah. Everybody is scared of the system. So
I'm coming for your dog, Jesse, in Rochester or whatever.
Yeah. What is his name again? I know he told me it before, but yeah. We got Mr. Rock Solid Ross on Instagram here saying a whole lot of stuff right now. He says, that's the system, ! Making your dates is very important and professional rest, especially when contracts are verbal. That is true. And when did he found the system? When did I find the system? I mean, I found the system probably 4 years ago. Yeah, and Steel Domain Wrestling. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what, or you might have to restate that, Rock Solid. So, all right, let's get into a question. So, what exactly were you doing months before you started or founded the Zero Sympathy group?
It's a good question. I was breaking into the AWF, I suppose. I think I got back into training at the academy April 2018, and then all of 2018 was basically a lot of me doing music for AWF, doing a lot of ring crew. I think I did music for a month or two, maybe even 3, before I got the opportunity to do music and wrestle for AWF, which was kind of a juggle. And so then I was doing that for another probably 6 months, and doing some JOBs and making sure everyone had their music. And then probably around 2019, I'm still doing music, but that's probably right about the time then I got a little bit of a way with how I could do things. And so I got a bodyguard of Crixus, and we were doing that for a couple of shows. And a lot of this is probably just like best chronicled on like the AW backstage videos I did on my YouTube channel. And that probably explains them the best, but I was with Crixus for probably an event or two, and he was helping me, doing some work with me. And about that time, I also pitched like, hey, why don't we bring in Sterling? And that eventually happened at Monticello Brewery at a date that I don't remember specifically, but it was a lit show. I think we definitely got the fire marshal was called at that one. But yeah, Zero Sympathy was formed at Monticello Brewery, and then it was like that was the squad up until my departure in AWF.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's always cool to hear when factions start, because I mean they're there to take over the wrestling company or the Midwest, multiple companies, and in this case it was the AWF, and you guys pretty much ran roughshod from the footage that I've seen. So yeah,
it's a very real world thing to be able to communicate and work with other people. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so, I mean, that's always been my MO. I think I'm in a lot of groups. I'm probably in the most groups of,
Mm-hmm.
of a lot of people. But I mean, they work, you know, like it's something to be said about being a lone wolf. And I certainly understand, you know, looking out for yourself, don't trust anyone, you know, that kind of mindset. But, you know, at the end of the day, what you see is all there is. I see a lot of people, the people who can work with other people the best, like those are the ones wreaking the most havoc. So
Mm-hmm.
big part of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Uh we got Bullet Bronson, our North Dakota pro wrestler Bullet Bronson on the Facebook comments here. He says, "Oh, looky, it's the system." That is right. It is the one and only system right here.
System Seminar Survivor Bullet Bronson.
Yep. Oh, you did us. Oh, that is right. You did do a seminar and for Puffamania, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk a little bit about that? That's actually something cool to talk about.
Yeah, it was like my first ever one, and it just came about where Strife was going to do one, and so I think he came out with some health issues or something like that, like a day or something before. I don't remember what exactly it was. He had to pull out. He was also going to do a seminar, and so um, promoter had reached out to me to see if I'd just pick it up because I think there was a couple people already committed to the seminar, and so I said I'd do it. You know, I've done it before, but you know, I've been a captain with the academy since 2019, and you know, I guess I've you know just being around like you know you graduate, but then like I guess you could I still keep going to the academy just like for reps and like you know see you know I love wrestling. It helps you be in the ring 5 times a week. You know, if you're going to training and you're not on a contract, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But graduating in 2018 and then like being able to see like a new iteration of new kids and you know that learning process, and then 4 months later another iteration of new kids and see the thought process coming up, and you know that was me at one point, and now it's kind of it's I don't know, now it's something I deal with, you know, being in for a little bit. Um, so you know it was super cool. I mean, I give music lessons too. Teaching's like super cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel a lot of joy doing it. But yeah, I just kind of fell into that opportunity of doing a seminar, and I think there was about like 6, 8 people total. There were some other wrestlers there that were just kind of like chilling, but I got them involved. And we just did a ton of roles, and we did like promos, low key. We did a lot of promos. Got to give a shout out to the game Smack Talk Showdown. I own that. I just keep at the academy now. That's a real fun game to play. Just kind of like get like different characters going and like just try and build something like improv like exercises. But that game's really fun. But yeah, Bo Bronson was there, Go was there. A couple other promising North Dakota folks were in there. Feel for North Dakota folks; they're always welcome to come down here, train at the academy. You know, get a talking to you, Johnny. Just kidding. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We someone in the comments, or he put his name in this comment, so we'll just say the comment together. He says, "What do you think of Jay Escobar from Jay Escobar?" Or what? Oh
I
yeah,
think Escobar needs to trust the system.
you think?
I don't think
Yeah.
because I don't think he does. I don't think he ever did. And so if he wants to get with the system, you got to trust the system. And so I'd like to hear that first before I go bound to Jay Escobar and granting him anything.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hashtag trust the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely well said. Yeah, so right now you got on the good old Zero Sympathy jersey. How was that all brought about?
I'm trying to remember. I guess it was just like a spur of the moment thing. I just thought of it, and then I think I remember making the design at Spy House Coffee in like Minneapolis, and like I made that, and I went through like a custom jersey manufacturer. I don't remember their name. They were hella generic. They're just probably the first thing that popped up on Google. And these custom jerseys that I made, these first iterations, they cost damn near like $40 or $50 to make per jersey, even though we're saying the same thing, like they're custom jerseys, like even though we're saying the same number, same sympathy underneath, it was coming out to $40-$50. So they're hella expensive, but like I only bought 3 because we only needed 3 to start off. Ended up needing to make a lot more.
Yeah.
It's just like a little, I mean, it's just like a Yankees knockoff, really, with like the Zero Sympathy and then a Zero Sympathy in the back. But it was clean. I don't know. It definitely like brought unity to the group because we're all so different.
Yeah. I kind of immediately got like Yankee vibes, and you kind of make it customized and kind of just like a baseball Yankee jersey to have in wrestling, and kind of convert it. Like a lot of people get inspiration from different sports. So yeah, it's really cool. Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff going on in the comments. This is kind of interesting. Rock Solid Ross, he says, what actually is the system? You keep talking and referencing the system, but you got to go into detail, step by step, what the system is.
What the system is? Listen up, Drew. You want to know what the system really is? Here's the high level version, the too long didn't read version. I am the system, so that's 4 words. That's the high level. I got a documentary about the story of how the system kind of came up and was brought about from a character standpoint, and that's on the MAW Live YouTube channel. If you haven't checked that out, I hope that research will help you in your journey of understanding what the system truly is. And I think once you have that core prerequisite work done, then we can dive into further detail upon what the system really is with some more specific questioning.
Okay. Yeah. I've actually watched that documentary a few times, and it goes in the very, very good detail.
Of course, because you're in it.
Yeah, I am in it, and part of your winning of the MAW title. So, yeah, they should have tagged me in that. I was in the video, but I'm still waiting for my cut on that part. So
I know it cuts deep, Jared. I know it cuts deep.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, it was really cool I guess really cool to be a part of your MAW championship win at the I forget the theater, but it was back in November of 2021. So that is definitely a really cool event that happened that night. So
well, hey, shout out to Eli McLaughlin, shout out to David Amatrano, the owners of MAW. You know, they love me, they're behind me, and you know, you can ask any one of them or either one of them, you know, they think the system is still the MAW champion right now, actually. Can't say about the third owner in that organization, but MAW's world-class promotion just happens to be based in the Midwest because they have a world championship wrestler like myself that they're willing to put the ball behind, and it's a travesty that they got a third guy there. That's just effing up.
It really is a big travesty, and he didn't that individual didn't even like when you originally won the title. So he's an individual, I guess. We'll keep it at that point. So
wait, who are we talking about, Jaron?
I think we're talking, or correct me if I'm wrong, but we're talking about Craig Sager, aren't we?
We don't say that name around these parts.
Oh, didn't you come up with
me a favor? Never say that name again.
Never say.
Now he must not be named.
Is he? Oh, didn't you come up with that name though? Or somebody did.
It's he who must not be named.
Oh, it's he. Oh, he can't be named. Oh, okay.
That's what he's called.
Oh, okay. Huh. What about the Craig
That's
part?
cool,
Is that?
Because I thought we were talking about Sterling for a minute, and I mean, I can say live, but it's not Sterling. Sterling thinks he got on my skin. Well, we can dive into it another time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say it to him when I see him wearing the jersey along with me.
There we go. Yeah. Oh boy. Uh, oh, there was a couple questions, but now they're just getting buried in the comments. But oh yeah. Tom Burdick, Wrestling Gone Wild owners in the comments, and he says you'll be taking on the WGW champion, Rampage Santana. What are your thoughts on going into that on August 5th? So
Yeah, that's right. I'm here to fulfill my WGW legacy. This was my dream. I'm from Virginia, Minnesota. I went to Tom Burdick's events in 2016, 2017. I saw his Keewatin Fair show just as a fan with my dad. We saw a poster somewhere and we just marked down our calendar to go see those dates. Because that's where I grew up. That's where I'm from. I'm from the Iron Range. And so I'm here to fulfill my WGW legacy, become Wrestling Gone Wild champion on August 5th. And Rampage Santana, I think I pulled out my Google Docs because I keep track of every single match I ever have in a Google Doc. And I think I went back and looked at the numbers. This might be my 10th. We're on track for 10 matches against each other just this year. So and the win-loss record, I don't even know if I want to say it because I don't want Rampage to look that bad. So, but the high level of this is that the system is going to capture his dream. Not you, Stoney, not you. The system is gonna capture his dream, his WGW legacy.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. So yeah. And yeah, I would say you and Rampage have definitely had quite the feud, and definitely feud of the year. It's just kind of become one of those feuds that it's always been good for every match that you've had, and especially what is it, 3 or 4 different companies now too. So, or will be 3 or 4 different companies. So that is definitely really cool. You guys definitely put on great matches, and you guys had about, I believe it was a half an hour match at Discover Pro Wrestling, right?
Yeah, well, I believe I've taken upon myself as a duty to ensure that I beat Rampage Santana out of this business. I think a lot of people will agree with that assessment, that that this kid needs to be taught a lesson, and I'm not going to stop in my fight to hurt him and to get him out of here. So the heat is real. If I ever saw him in real life, I don't know if I'd be able to have a calm moment with him. So it's on site.
Yeah. Going back to Zero Sympathy, what do you think were a couple of your favorite times together during that time period?
How we formed was pretty dank. Because like I said, that was a real huge crowd. Like people were packed in there. It was unsafe, but like aesthetic wise, like ooh. Me becoming general manager, that kind of wasn't really a Zero Sympathy moment, but that was also just like a personal like accomplishment in AWF. I think that PD kind of goes down in history as being the guy who put me through a table and got me fired from AWF, and I haven't been back ever since. And so he's kind of remembered for that. But there are a lot of people out there that also remember that we kind of like kicked his ass most of the time. Like he had that one moment, but that man was catching these hands for maybe like 90% of it. And so maybe it's the reason I'm not back. So, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. Mr. Michael Pam from Michael's Corner. He's asking, what were your thoughts on being on his show, Michael's Corner?
It's always a pleasure being on Michael's Corner, and I hope that we have one very soon. And I believe it could be some TV ready material for the CW. I am an unabashed MEP fanboy. and I'm a fan of his work. And so, yeah, Michael, just come to one of my shows. Quit being cheap and driving short distances. You know the shows I'm on. You follow my pages.
Mhm.
I'm just asking him. I'll get him on. I'll get him on his time. But I can't wait to be on my next Michael's Corner interview. Because after all, I'm MEP till I DIE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a shout out to Michael's Corner. He runs a podcast, he runs a podcast on the YouTube, interviews same or a bunch of Midwest guys. He's done a bunch of different shows. He also does review shows after each show that he goes to, and he goes to so many. He's trying to keep up with that, but he's doing a great job with that. Great job with the podcast and just going to shows in general. So yeah, definitely shout out to Michael's Corner. Go check that out on YouTube. So yeah. What were some of the best matches you guys had as a group?
We had a 6-man. I don't remember the location off the top of my head, but it was early 2020, and it was Zero Sympathy versus Petey, Big Set, and Angel Dorado, and that was an elimination match. And that was in front of a house of damn near 400, I think. And that went crazy because it's like almost like a mini Survivor Series in a way.
Yeah.
Got a crazy high spot in from Angel, and that one went hard. I'm trying to think of what else, because we didn't have a lot of three-man matches. I think we had me and Sterling tagged against Joey Asa, Dion Roosman. I like that match because those guys could go, we could go. That one was fun. That was in a baseball diamond in Iowa in front of 200. And all these are on probably random AWF backstage episodes, but that match was fun. I don't know if me and Crixus tagged a lot. We beat Riley and Levy way back in the day. I think that was one of me and Crixus's only tags, but also pretty impressive win. I don't remember. There's probably others too that I'm missing, but those would be the top 3 off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah. I was going back. I don't think there was a whole lot of 3-on-3s, but it's just a lot of kind of 2-on-2s. You tagging with each of the Zero Sympathy guys. So
we'd all be out there though.
Yeah. As long as you're out there, whether
we're still gonna support the boys.
Yeah. We got Bullet Bronson. He says, who are some of the guys you want to work in BZW, Below Zero Wrestling?
I think the real question is who wants to work this? No, I would take the current champion one more time. I think things got a little taken out of context in that match because I think me and Robbie had a little disagreement on the outside, and I believe Sly actually wanted to just take that moment to show Jack a few pointers of his golf game, like he was swinging at it, like he wanted to show him he wanted him work on his swing, because that's pretty important, being able to golf in life. It's a fun activity. I think it would have provided value to him. And so I don't know why. I can understand why D'Lo thought he was probably going to attack him, but he's the one who attacked first. So that wasn't cool. Because like that's a manager. He's got a family. He got kids that are in college. Or he's got kids, man. Like I don't know why you're coming after him and his livelihood like that. And be the one that attacked first. That's why I was so hot at him. So I think D'Lo. I think D'Lo. He deserves some comeuppance for what he did. But also Jack Ledger, you give me that rematch, you ain't winning that time. You ain't winning again. So I know you don't want the system smoke. I know he wants people trying to forget that I'm not a contender. Like I was a contender for a reason. And that was my first loss. I think my win-loss record still looks pretty good. I think I'm still probably number 2 on the stat board at that promotion. So he wants to write me off as not a contender. I think he is he's lying. He's lying to you guys, he's lying to himself.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually there for your match between Jack Ledger, the BZW champion, on back on May 15th. That was probably the best. I know you are the system. I do trust the system, but it probably had to be one of the best matches of the year, if not the greatest. It was a great match. You got the guys interrupting, which was unfortunate, but you had two solid guys taking on the main event and BZW's Wrestleversary 1 year anniversary. So that is really cool to highlight that company and having that match. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm really proud of what they've done. Like those church shows at those church, like I haven't seen one bad one. Like that's like it's always good attendance and great vibes. And you know, I know they just Wapaton. I'm trying to go back there. I was trying to go back there. Maybe that day will work out, but you know, I hope nothing for growth with them, because they got some real good people with Nick and Zach and Johnny, and you know, it's a good back end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bullet Bronson says a sanctuary is his favorite place to wrestle, and that building is awesome. Since moving up to that area and just seeing that venue is really cool. So probably the best venue out there as well. So I know it's not in Minnesota, but I mean, just in Midwest wrestling that I've seen, it's a really cool place. So yeah. Oh. I guess I had a question for Crixus, but maybe I don't. I want to kind of hear your thoughts just in case maybe you have anything. But Crixus, he made his MAW wrestling debut the night before that BZW match on May 14th. Do you think Crixus has a future in MAW, and if he's doing anything?
I'll let Crixus answer that question.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. That was, I mean, that was a surprise because there's someone else that was supposed to be there, but then he came out and he had I'm trying to remember he had one of the legends that night. I think it was, dang it. Oh yeah, Wild Bill Irwin, and then he faced Leonard Literacy with Cowboy Bob Orton. So great match there, right? And yeah, right in the middle of the night. So yeah. Bullet Bronson says, what's the best advice for guys coming in?
I would say the power of one more. I forget who that is. I just want to sit around with him. But there's one, like, if you can get behind a real good trainer, like that can change things immensely. Like if you can you put in the work, but put in the work around the right people to allow you to find you those opportunities. Because the world is abundant, and pro wrestling kind of like there's a lot of churn, contrary to popular belief. And there's like new establishments come up, and some have like always been here. But if you go in and you train at an established institution, like Ken's or Black and Brave down in Iowa, it's just like not only are you around like a one guy who's in there who's got an eye on you, and you can like build a relationship with them. You're around others, and if you're putting in the work, you're around there like 4 or 5 days a week. Who's also like training 4 or 5 days a week, and that's you make great friends. And so it's just putting yourself in that kind of environment. If you're if you're trying to start, if you're in the biz and you want to get better, that some people consider WWE the best for wrestlers, just because of the reps. They go all around the world, and wrestle over 100 days a year, and that reps is what makes you good. And so like no one goes straight to WWE unless you're extremely exceptional and a rarity. And so that's what I thought when I came in, is just like, how can I replicate that WWE schedule? And it's damn near impossible on the indies. You can have a really packed week load schedule, but that's probably like 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so having a good place to train Monday through Friday, that fills in your reps. That's how you can get in a ring like every damn day and be in a ring 100 times a year, 200 times a year. So it's just the right environment, but also, you know, being under like the right one person, it can just like totally open things for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely really, really well said. Because I mean, indies it's mainly a weekend thing to go and or for fans to go and watch a wrestling event, and then wrestlers go and perform. And I mean, you do travel a lot, but I mean, in indies, it's like you said, kind of possible to replicate the schedule. But training, that's definitely important. Doing something over and over, you're gonna get better at it. So yeah. Bullet Bronson says he's going to be hitting up the academy sometime this summer, so that'd be really cool if you could, Bullet. You got to get captain, so yeah. See this. Rock Solid Ross says he likes the standing up during the interview opposed to seated position. Interesting comment there, Ross.
I'm just a natural stander.
He's a natural stander. Should do that. Yeah, I got a good desk here though, especially with computer. I don't know where to stand it up higher, but yeah.
Usually you'll find me sitting down.
Yeah. What do we got here? Rock Solid Ross says, what is the system's YouTube channel?
It's called Trust the System. Trust space the space system.
Okay. Yeah. And I know you post here and there, but it's cool to see what you do with that platform. So yeah. What else is going on? I'm trying to keep up with everything. I guess we could go into a little name associations. So basically, I'll just give you a name, and you could talk as little or as much as you want about them, about the first time you met them or had an interaction with them. So first, we got AWF owner Tony Nanucci.
Oh, he's a hustler, man. I sent him a text. I was like, "Happy birthday, bro. Stay blessed." That man, that's a man of God. Did a lot for his family, and he broke me into the wrestling business, and I am forever grateful for that. And I don't think the heat lies between me and Tony. However, Tony does listen to another man who I have well documented a substantial amount of heat with. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, definitely well said. Downtown PD Brown.
He's a liar.
And
he can't dance.
Okay.
He can't wrestle as good as me, and that really bothers him. And we used to be really good friends, all right. But you know what? We've talked about it already on here, and so I'll turn in my time.
Okay. Yeah. AWF announcer DJ Draper.
DJ's cool. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but I remember watching his Draper dialogues during quarantine. So those are pretty cool. Check out. And I'll pass my time on that. But I got no hard feelings to DJ. Even though we have a storied past as well. But
Yeah.
it's been a while. It's been a while.
Okay. Yeah. Craven Knight.
Dude, Craven's so good, man. He he I'll give Craven enough credit for I think it was one time when I was really young in AWF and like I was facing him and we just had a match that we went through and he gave me some real good advice in the back about just kind of like letting a vet lead because at that point I think every match I had at that point was just with regular academy members, and so he kind of you know like pounded into me how to respect guys who are in there who've done it longer, and I like to think I've implemented that, and I've learned a hell of a lot just by like what other dudes have given me, like just walking in and opening my ears to that. So Craven's cool. If he ever wants to come out of retirement and get these hands, if he ever gets tired of making gear and wants to go back to taking L's from the system, he knows where to find me.
Okay. Yeah. Savage Nation, Jacob Savage.
Jacob's cool. Jake's cool. He wasn't too much of a regular, but like from the small conversation I had with him, he was a super dope dude. Super humble. He had a really fun match with like a really fun random match with like Damon Spriggle back in like Rockfest 2019, where they mostly brawled through Rockfest. And then by the time they hit the ring, it was just like he just went to jackhammers or like a spear jackhammer Goldberg type finish, went home. And that popped me hard. And so like I still think of that. And so I'll tell you that story. That's my Jacob Savage story.
Okay. Here's a tag team, Minnesota Wrecking Zoo.
Minnesota Wrecking Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw the Frog last Sunday at the first Pride Brewing free show. Jumped over there, said hi to a couple people, mostly Sebastian Taylor. I was there for Sebastian Taylor. But Frog was there. The Heat is still established. The Heat still goes way back. And he can just join PD Brown and the long line of others that can hang with the system. They don't like the system, and it's just comes from a visceral place. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand it, but also at the same time I understand it. Mm-hmm. So what you gonna do about it? Mm-hmm. Trust the system.
Trust the system. I guess we can go into that as well. Sebastian Taylor.
He's dope. He's cool. He's a day one guy. He's one of the guys who started the same day as me. And so it's super cool to see him going at it, getting better. He's got a cool tag going with Scott Story. That's a damn well homie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a little a little story with you and Sebastian Taylor. I don't know if you remember, but I believe it was last year, I think around August of 2021, Steel Domain Wrestling was at the Lonsdale American Legion outside, and I was showing a couple of my custom figures off, and you saw the Sebastian Taylor, and you're like, hey, can I get a picture with that? And we took a picture. You're like, yeah. I'm like, you can take a picture with them, and Taylor loved it. I sent the picture to him, so yeah, it's a cool little story right there. So yeah. System's a big fan of Taylor, so, or a fan. Yeah. What else was it? Jerry the King Lawler.
Well, I think Jerry's a legend, and I actually went back and looked at a lot of the stuff like after our match because I was pretty like it was cool how much he gave, but I learned a lot about him like kind of after our match. It's great. I mean, obviously knew he was a goat beforehand, but it was really big of him to step in the ring with me and let me do what I did, and I'm completely open to a rematch if he thinks he truly can beat me. But we all know what happened that fateful night.
That's right. We all know what happens. So there's footage of that. So go check it out, guys.
No.
No, don't check the footage.
We know what the real story is.
Oh, okay. Trust the system, not the footage. I feel like I'm gonna butcher the name again, but Scott on Facebook says, if you had a chance, what wrestler would you wrestle right now if you could?
I would wrestle Paul Verk to get my title back. Like that should happen sooner rather than later. Now I made it very clear we're not gonna address he who must not be named. But he holds a lot of power there, and I think a lot of people know that, you know, when my team lost the MAW Tag Team Championships, we never really got a rematch. Like we never got, like, there were three, like probably around 3 Tag Team Championship matches that happened, like, and ours never came. We were owed a rematch. And so the same thing is happening. Paul's gonna be defending the title against Nikki Heat on Thursday. And that's gonna be an MAW Championship match. And I'm very vocal to the other part of MAW management that I'm not going to get my shot at this title because we kind of have a history of this, and he who must now not be named. So I'll end there. I'll end it there.
Okay. Yeah. What is your favorite memory in AWF as a whole?
I mean, I think the biggest moment in my AWF career was probably almost having complete ownership and control of the American Wrestling Federation. I was handily going to beat Tony DiNucci. He had a trick up his sleeve. He took a Special Olympian and used him to cheat. Like, he was his manager, and he came in and he used a Special Olympian in order to beat me and retain control of his company, which I think that's pretty low. I think it's pretty low because I had him beat if he was gonna stoop that low to allow that to happen. So, what it is, what it is. Everyone can write their own story.
Yeah. Jane Kinney says, whose wrestling style inspires the system the most?
Well, usually when I list off my Mount Rushmore, it's usually kind of like Ric Flair 1A, Mr. Perfect 1B, and so, like, you know, blonde hair Minnesota, oversell boy, kind of like, so that definitely kind of like fits the mold. I've been watching a lot of Superstar Billy Graham now too, because he was dope. He was before my time, but he was really dope. Gorgeous George, kind of like, you know, that sort of archetype. Right when I started training too, I like started watching Shawn Michaels run, like his first run in the 90s, like for the first time, like actually like going in and like truly watching it, not just highlights and stuff. And that changed the game. So I took a lot from him too. But you take from everywhere. So, but those names are probably like maybe the first that come to mind. Big fan of Roddy Piper too, and his ability to control the narrative. I mean, I'm disappointed. He told me he was busy when I asked him for the Grand Slam 3 match, but
yeah. Jane also says, how did you get interested in playing the violin, and what made you make it part of your entrance?
I got interested in playing the violin in 2018 when I realized like it was a gimmick that had never been done before. I started playing at 7 years old. I think I come from like sort of a family of fiddlers, violinists. So my mom made me start at a young age, but it was more so a command, not something I necessarily wanted to do. So I never had that mentality I always loved wrestling, so like I started doing wrestling, and then yeah, 2018, I realized like, oh, I could be a violin boy. And so quarantine, I kind of like stepped away. I retired the first time, and I actually kind of just like decided to try and get good at it. Just spend my time like working on it. I got that electric violin then right during when quarantine started, um, and it's just been a gradual process. And a big shout out to Chavo for feeding me with the right equipment to get the wireless setup going. And now I got a pretty seamless setup that I'm hoping to bring to more shows. So like I was telling Jaron, maybe before the live came on, I want to get as many reps in with that as possible because it's super different, super exciting. And yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, let me see. Yeah, if you guys have any more comments or questions too, you can keep linking those. We'll answer a few more in there. I guess a little, I mean, not AWF related, but like how did you originally get your MAW career start?
Just a little bit in the documentary in the rise of the system on MAW Live. If you want more a little in depth on it, I'd say we were doing ring crew for MAW all through 2018. A lot of the same crew because it was like me, BJ, Sebastian. A lot of those guys were like day one guys. We're all just coming up together and doing ring crew for MAW, AWF, Showtime, a lot of the other promotions. So we were doing that all across 2018, and I think I got my first booking with them start of the new year, 2019, something like that. That was against Sebastian Taylor, actually. It was a tournament for something. And after that match, I got put into the prospect tournament. They ran a prospect tournament in 2019. It was me, BJ, Paul Verk, Damon Spriggle, Levy Cruz. I might be forgetting someone, Andrew Wilson. And we all like just kind of like fought each other for like points, and it all culminated in like a sort of a Royal Rumble-esque scenario with the 6 dudes, elimination style. And I like to say that I was the rightful winner of that. But it sounds pretty familiar, a pretty familiar storyline. I think that there were some other forces at play that allowed Paul Verk to be the one on paper as the winner. And so, yeah, it seems like there's a history of that.
Okay, yeah. Jane Kinney is answering for Nick Pride, or asking a question on behalf of Nick Pride. Nick Pride says, when did Buddy Landell have a son?
Hey, I'm Tommy Rich's son. Watch your damn mouth.
That's right.
Actually, I should shave. That'll make it, and I'll stop tanning for a week. That'll make the joke funny. I love all like blonde oversell wrestlers, match wrestling wrestlers of the past. I feel like I'm obligated to, because of course I am the system.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, there's I mean a lot of blonde wrestlers that I don't know, how do you describe it, that feel very confident about themselves, and as they should be. So you're one of them. So
I'm keeping it real, man. Just keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
I would never.
I get yeah. So you were mentioning Andrew Wilson. Do you know what he's doing these days? I know I saw him a few years ago, but I haven't heard anything for a while.
I don't know. I should hit him up. I haven't talked to him in a minute either. It's been a couple years.
Okay. Yeah. And then I think one more question. Just I guess highlight all the events that are coming up for you.
My phone. got a big weekend coming up. We're hitting the road on Thursday. So that's 2 days from now, not even the weekend. We're going to be at the Rice County Fair once again. And I will be demolishing Rampage Santana for #1 contendership, probably. Should be. And I'm gonna wipe the floor with Rampage Santana. There's no reason about it. All right. If I were to see him in the same room.
Oh, wow.
Jersey a-hole.
Hey, I
Uh,
mean,
That's been out of style since like 2019.
that's been out of stuff.
Hey yo, best wrestler in the Midwest.
That is true. Kyle Pro. Huh. You're living with Rampage, or well, bunking with Rampage, huh?
no, he's not. I don't know what he's doing in my house. He honestly broke in. I'm gonna call 911.
That is a good idea. Yeah.
In fact, should probably deal with that. Jared, you got a concluding question that you want to hit before we bid the fans adieu, and we must remind everyone that the system always makes his dates, and so does Jared.
PPA.
That's right.
PPA all day.
Yeah, I'll have one last question. It's from Jane Kinney. She says, have you watched any old Buddy Roger matches?
I couldn't name one to you right now, but you're honestly gonna inspire me to watch more.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, System, for being on the show. Again, you probably had the most showings on this show, or I'd have to go back and watch, but it's definitely got to be up there. Thank you for being on.
A whole damn show. Thank you for doing what you do, Jared.
Thank you. And
give the people what they want. Give the wrestlers an outlet to the world.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I know we couldn't have everybody on here, but we were able to get the System, talk about his updates and Zero Sympathy and
that's
everything.
All I want. That's the only motto I want. We couldn't get anybody, but at least we got the System.
At least we got the System. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for being on the show, and I'll see you Thursday. I'm going to that MEW show, so yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, also Impact Pro Wrestling on Friday in Iowa. Racing Championship Wrestling. Come support the Rob Squad on Saturday. And then I'm gonna be in a cage match, WPW, coming up. Wisconsin Pro Wrestling. I'm fulfilling my WGW legacy. August 5th. I'm taking that title. It was my dream. And it was my dream.
All right, that is a good old System right there. Being what the System can be. He had to go deal with Rampage breaking into his house. He's had a lot of people break into his house for some reason on this show. He's probably got to get a better lock for his house. We'll have to see what he does. But thank you guys for joining in on the show, and if we still got a schedule, if we're able to get everything going, we got tomorrow. We got Indie Talk with Jesse and Jaron, featuring the program's manager JJ Rogue. So tune into that. All right, have a nice night, guys. Live is ending.